Sup, Maximum Customs, coming at you from my bathroom, of all places, because I'm currently don't really have a better place to show any of this. I just wanted to, well, first of all, apologies for the handful that are actually subscribed, and the slightly bigger handful that I suppose watch my videos. I hate how fast I fell into not uploading. I'm going to try and fix that. But to today's topic at hand, well, you see three figures in front of you. Two good, one objectively terrible. Recently, Walmart clearanced these guys. The only way I was going to buy these. Because even though I wanted one, I really didn't want to pay $30 for it. And I didn't have to. I paid $10 for this guy. Got it brought out to my car because online deal. And then I bought this guy for $12. Just in-store regular clearance. And then here, obviously, IG-12, the Grogu mech suit, IG-11, and then the actual original IG-11. Don't remember if this is a credit collection or not. I don't think it is. I think it was a regular one. Got him at Best Buy for like $12, I think. Long time ago. Terrible figure. Way too small, as you can see. Just tiny in all regards. But I had a burning question. How hard would it be to take this old figure and make this, give yourself a better IG-11? And the answer is yes, you can, pretty simply. Hair dryer, heat it up, stretch it off of this guy, throw it on this guy. Works pretty well. You can... Oh, this figure, that's the one bad thing about these figures. The hands suck. Here, where did it go? It's in his hand. Because this figure was comically undersized, his guns are undersized. So you would think it wouldn't fit the big one, but it does. This is literally just, you still see the hole in there. Getting a little off topic. I just threw the belts on, threw IG-11's two bandoliers on. Now to get them to lay flat across the shoulders, I did have to cut this piece off and just sort of shove it back in an angle. And then these two wires, they just lift off of the little tan plate on the back. And then you can similarly shove them where they need to go. Bandolier might be a little small, but I think it works. I think this is a definite improvement. Like, you could just throw this up on the shelf as is, because the hole in here is so dark. Up on a shelf, at distance, you probably wouldn't even notice. But I was like, that just doesn't sit with me. Especially because, ultimately, this was just curiosity. I'm planning on turning this guy into IG-88. I'll probably rip these pieces off of the old figure, glue them onto here, make my own bandolier. But I got to thinking, how am I going to deal with the problem of the hole in the chest? I started looking around. What can I use? What can I use? And I seen the Loctite super glue cap. Held it up to it. That taper looks about right. And it's got an interesting ribbed sort of, mechanical texture. So I took a spare one and I cut it to hell. Specifically, I started, you can see right where the cap goes. Well, you don't really need it to focus. It goes from this solid to the more open ribbing. I cut right here and then chased down to where I needed with a set of nips, and I ended up with this. I have two of them because one of them is going to stay Grogu mech suit, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. But as you can see, it's a droid. I can deal with seeing through it a little bit as long as, the main attraction is a solid chest. So, there's a little bit up at the top. I figured there's an offcut from the top where I had to relief cut it to fit around the little controls. See, you just cut it there. I did have to take it down where I showed you that I cut it initially. I used the side cutters to take it down one more rib, and it is a nice tight fit in this chest cavity. You got to get it in there just right, but you can get it. It's a very nice tight fit once you get it in there just right, and you can close these and it locks in nice and tight. It shuts properly on both sides. Hit that with, well, glue it in place. Take your little offcut to hide the neck seam. Hit this with some gunmetal. Gunmetal, maybe a little bit of silver edge highlighting. And I think that that fills the hole quite nice. It's not entirely accurate to how it's supposed to look. Right here, it's supposed to have sort of a circular piece in there. But as far as simple solutions go, I think a cut up Loctite cap works pretty well. If I were to hit this with gunmetal, I think it would glue it in place, glue this offcut in place, and then hit it with some gunmetal. I think it would blend right in place. Pull these levers out of their sockets or just leave them as some extra mechanical bits and bobs right there, and throw a bandolier on it, or IG-11's bandolier, and I think you'd end up with a pretty decent New Age Black Series IG-11, or with a full repaint. And I mean, you could obviously use, if you have the original IG-88, just reuse his parts. You go from this just abomination. I hid him at the back of my shelf. He was on there. I didn't want to throw him in a drawer, but I did hide him at the very back in the dark corner of a shelf. Now I don't have to do that because these guys look good. Like I said, I'm going to try and get back in the groove, doing figures and whatnot, maybe other things, uploading. But until then, I rant a lot. I apologize. I'm not ranting. I move on I speak too much. I apologize for that. I apologize for the 7 minutes that you may or may not wish you could have gotten back. I'll see you in the next one.